G'day, welcome back to Skull Modelling Twins. Looking at another kit because we can. So this is another big one. This is the Airfix 72nd Skull Handley Page Victor B Mk2 in brackets BS for blue steel. So, like always, I've got some extra bits and pieces for this because I can't help myself. Let's face it. So let's change camera and have a look at what we've got. So it starts with, like every other kit, instructions. And paint guides and stencil guides. We'll get to them shortly. We'll do the plastic first. Why not? Again, no particular order. So this is what flaps. These are the nose wheel well, exhaust ducts for the engines, landing gear, air brake. It's all really nice, actually. Hats off to Airfix. I think this is a beautiful kit. It's got everything you need. One half of the fuselage. It's good size. Again, see flight deck floor, top of the V tail. This is a forward and rear bulkheads of the bomb bay. The engine inlet ducts, which are really nice. Other side, fuselage half, other half of the inlet ducts. The V, the horizontal stabs. Not sure what that is. A little warped bit. We'll find it a little bit later. Here we go. This is a blue steel itself. So this is the extra bit you get in this kit. So that goes over the bomb bay, so it doesn't open. You've got that fairing, and the blue steel missile fits there. In fact, I've got one made up because this is the one from the Vulcan kit, the blue steel Vulcan kit. It's exactly the same. So as you see there, it was different plastic, so it's the same part, but it's molded in the blue tack looking stuff. But yeah, that's a blue steel missile, and it literally fits into the cavity, and yeah, sticks on the bottom of the aircraft that way. So when it flies along, it's got a bit of a nose down attitude to it, but fits absolutely immaculately. So that's a nice touch. So that's a blue steel part of it. Next, exhaust exit ducts, inlet faces of the turbines. These are the flaps. Other bits and bobs. Yeah, all there, all very nice. More of the detail bits. These are all the wheels. There's 4 wheels on each bogie. You've got the undercarriage. They look like. They're probably we'll find out shortly. I think they're the air brake actuators. Little ducts, little ladders, little details. Big bits. This is the top of the wing and the outer wing. The internal bracing, the flaps. Now, you can see it's got all these lovely little access hatches that the Matchbox kit of this one did not have. I built the Matchbox one a couple of years ago. Bit of a struggle. And it really made me want to get this one because I love the plane, but I didn't love that kit. Top of the wing, vortex generators. Again, access panels along the leading edge. Everything's there. I think it's a beauty of a kit. The panel detail on this is just wonderful. Oh, come on, focus. Yeah, you can see the little rivets down. Hey, we'll get the idea. They're the K version, the extra fuel tanks they put on when they made this the tanker. Bombay doors. This is the top of the Bombay. The Bombay opening doors, and if you want to close Bombay, then there's one piece there, including the little fairings that open up to disturb the airflow. What they found is when they started dropping bombs with this initially, the bombs would stay in the bomb bay. So they put this little thing there, a spoiler, and it would drop down like that to disturb the airflow so the bombs would get free of the airframe. Last little bit there, all the little details. So little mudguard for the front wheels. Not even sure what that is. It looks like something in the flight deck. Other little details, lots of them. And the clear parts. Oh, I won't open these because they're heat sealed. But the wing tips are clear on this. Lets you paint the anticols, so nav lights, I should say, clear, and the rest of it just gets painted. The canopy is beautiful, much better than the Matchbox one, I must say. And you've got a observer's window for the Bombardier and the early Victors. Later ones, they just painted that over the body colour. So getting all this back in the box and get it out of the way, I'll show you all the extra bits. We'll go through the instructions, actually. Lots of noise, plastic, and whatnot. So, decal sheet. Again, cartograph, as always, Airfix, and it's absolutely glorious. So you've got the two versions here of the all-white anti-flash nuclear one with the blue steel, and the later one with the green and the grey camouflage schemes. So they're absolutely glorious, including the decals for the instrument panels. Beautiful stencils for the walkways. Bloody absolutely exceptional decals, as always, Airfix. Well done. Instructions. Nice and colourful, the new design. So they've got, building up the flight deck, rear seat crew. Incidentally, the first person that flew supersonic, fast and speed sound backwards, was in the backseat of a Victor, looking at the instrumentation panel of one of these early ones. When they in a dive, they exceeded. They weren't meant to. They went fast and speed of sound, and yeah, the first guy to fly through the sound barrier facing backwards. Didn't even know at the time, because you actually don't know if you have gone supersonic. You don't know you're going supersonic if it wasn't for the instrument. Yeah, building up the rest of the underfloor. Oh, that's what that panel was. So that bent panel I couldn't recognise as the top of the nose gear bay. Goes under the flight deck. Top of the V-tail, undercarriage, and building up the wing and the inner sort of parts, the inlet ducts for these engines, the guide vanes. As I say, look, the only exposure I've had to this kit was the Matchbox one, and yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. Didn't like it so much. I only kept it for a couple of months and threw it in the bin. This one, yeah, they are actuators for the air brakes and everything else. This is behind it's in the empennage, the back of the fuselage. All goes together. The two fuselage halves going onto the wing. It's going to be so good. Yeah, you can see the clear parts on the wingtips, and yeah, the red part is once it's fitted, that's where it goes. So, going on to, sorry, main landing gear, doors, exhaust ducts, putting it all together, cooling ducts for it'll be accessory drives for the engines, flaps, external tanks, should you want to fit them. Yeah, it's giving you a question mark. You can fit them if you want. The early ones didn't have them, the later ones did. HF long wires, cockpit goes on, and then yeah, making up the blue steel fits onto that. It's an option if you want to fit it. And it's how it looks at the end. Massive wing, these things. This crescent wing, as they call it, absolutely beautiful. It looks like something out of Flash Gordon, I reckon. These things are just of their time. They're just absolutely beautiful. The two schemes in the kit are this is 139 Squadron, RAF Witterington in England, 1963-64. So this is the blue steel one, and everything is an anti-flash white. Absolutely beautiful. Other option is, yep, the green grey with the white underneath. This is, yeah, the other blue steel. So this is the training flight, Royal Air Force Witterington, 1968. So it's a couple of years later, 5 years later. What's the other one? 63, 63, 64. So 4 years later. They changed to low level because these ones were going to be high flying. They realised that the Russians would just shoot them out of the sky, so they went to a low level thing, hugged the ground, which is why they had the camouflage fitted to the top of the aircraft. So that's the second scheme there. And the last bit of paperwork with it is double-sided. There we go. Stencil data, or data, as you would say in every country other than Australia. Yeah, so lots of stencils there, should you want to fit them. Now, again, as always, I bought extras because I bought these extra decals for the Matchbox one. Now, what was going on? Okay, so what happened with the Matchbox one? These are the original decals I had with the kit. And you could tell they're somewhat yellowed and, well, they're unusable. I tried to give them a go. I put on some liquid decal film from Microscale, and I couldn't save them, couldn't use them. So, because I was building a tanker, what I was doing was the what is now made Marion, which is the one from it's a lead tanker from the Blue Steel, sorry, the Black Buck mission in the Falklands. I couldn't use these Dayglow formation lines for the tanker drogues and everything else. So I went off and bought a print scale sheet, mainly desert ones, but it does have one of the green grey ones with the Dayglow tanks on it, right? So I got them, and they came along and they're completely the wrong colour compared to that, you know. Yeah, they weren't red, I'm afraid. So I couldn't use them either. So then I thought, well, I need to do something else. So I went off and bought a third set, which are these ones. This is the Xtradecal set, the Handley Page collection, the Victor collection. So what was in these ones is most of them are the same. So it's just different squadrons. So you've got, let's see, I have to turn this around, I'm sorry. 214 Squadron, 57 Squadron, the Maran pool, which is all the aircraft are shared amongst all the flying squadrons. 232 Squadron, Tanker Training Flight, 543 Squadron, 214, 232 OCU, 139 Squadron, and 543 Squadron. So with all those schemes, the only thing that really changes is what's above the flash on the tail. So the different squadrons there are different symbols. However, I do like this scheme here. It's got the older white style on the bottom of the airframe with the washed out anti-flash roundel there. So I might do that one when I get around to it. And the way these decals came and look is beautiful. So you got the different squadrons there, and the Dayglow is Dayglow. So all these 57 squadron ones. In fact, that's what I wanted. I got this sheet because I wanted the 57 meatball on it from. I had an old photo of the Black Buck ones, as a kid, and I was just like, oh, I want to build me one of them. But having the gold lions and stuff, this is just a really nice sheet. So I'll probably use those with the Xtradecal sheet rather than what's in the kit, just because I have them available on hand. Oh, focus, please. So what's next is I had bought, they're the last, the roundels that are left from that as well, with the anti-flash and the two schemes, because as I say, I couldn't use the Matchbox ones on the Matchbox kit. I'd bought some 72nd scale Victor. These are the pitot probes on the wingtips and the Eduard refueling probe. above the cockpit there. That's a turned aluminium, which is really nice. So that's a good purchase, I think. And then I got some 3 lots of photo etch. So I've got, this is the Mark II exterior. This is mainly the main wheel wells. And again, I bought one of these kits when I did their Victor, and it lifts it, I think, quite well. Not that it really needs it, and you can't really tell. I'll do another video on that one shortly. I can't show you the, oh, it's stuck. I can't show you the before shots. It's only the after ones because I've built the kit. But yeah, it does enhance it. But admittedly, most of the work you see on it, you can't really tell unless I point it out. That's actually quite stuck in there. I think it's the side there. Come on. Come on. It's okay. It's all right. Come. There we go. Right. Oh, I'm going to have to put something behind it after all that. So yeah, you got little hydraulic lines. Oh, look at that. And the sidewalls of the main gear and everything else is just beautiful sort of detail on these. The tops, they're the roofs of the main landing gear bays. Main landing. And yeah, it's got little inlet sort of fairings, lots of detail there. So that's the exterior set. So looking at the instructions, you got, yeah, you line the nose wheel well, flipper doors, the inside of them. So the main landing gear, shave off all that detail in the middle of the strut and then replace it with a photo etch, sort of box it up like that around the whole thing. Yep, line top, bottom sides of the bays. This is the back of the blue steel. You've got a launch sort of ring around the rocket motors, antennas. Yeah, and the hydraulics in the main wheel well bays. So yep, lots of detail there. There's also this one. This is the interior. So this is, you know, well, there's not much in the bomb bay. So this is basically the flight deck. Couple of sheets there. Pull out the instruction. At least these are easier to remove. All right, so these are right, main instrument panel, center console underneath that. Got the seat belts at the bottom in blue. All the bits and bobs. I can't remember what they are. On this side, we'll come to those in a minute. They'll be in the instructions. You got the initiation handles for the ejection seats. And the second one, you've got the rear wall where the navigator, the weapon system officer sit, and all the other bits that you build up around their console. And a couple of little boxes that sit on the side of the flight station. So the instructions for that. Yeah, chop away the old seat belts, replace them with the new stuff. You've got the rudder pedals underneath there. You've got, yeah, take away a little bit of the outer combing for the instrument panel, replace it with these new boxes you make up for the instrument panel and the center console. Seat belts get chopped away, all photo etch seat belts. Yep, initiation handles for ejection seats, and you've got the rails for the rocket motor at the back. Yep, the rear face of the weapons system station, navigator's station, all the different panels that go on the top of those, and all the other bits and bobs. Oh, this is the throttle quadrant. So your concertina, all that into a little thing like that, and then you place that in the center there. Yeah, and as you can see, the red bits you remove. So that's the center rail and the swivel for the center seat. And yeah, just a couple of side consoles that really you won't see. Admittedly, you're not going to see very much of this at all, but all of that looks like fun. And the last one I've got is the air brakes. So this replaces what's in the kit and sort of fancies them up a bit. Oh, never opened these, it's a bit stuck. And there we are. So, yep, so you've got the main, oh yeah, as you see, you've got the perforated plates there for the air brakes and the main actuators and everything else. So the instructions for that, still double-sided. Yeah, so you line the part that's in the kit with the photo etch. And same with the actuator. Yeah, and then you line the inside of the actual air brakes themselves. So that's going to enhance it quite a lot if you choose to have the air brake open, which is optional. And that's it. So altogether, that's pretty much everything you can get for the Victor. Should you want to add all the extra stuff and embellish it, and I reckon, I'm looking forward to this kit. I love the plane. It's a beautiful aircraft, and it's big. But I've got the Victor made up in the cupboard. I've got the Valiant up there, and got whatever extras I can get for it as well. And I'd love to have all three built up together. So this is, it won't be done straight away, but yeah, it could be. Like every kit I've got here, I really want to build. This is certainly high up on the list, but I think it might be two away from being started, but it'll be started. I need to free up some space first. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time I look at other embellishments for plastic. Hooroo!